brief explanation of what this series is all about, I have 9 different coffees from different countries from the company Nespresso. I am a cigarist that's learning everything he can about stuff of this nature. Because of the art behind it, you get to understand taste notes and origins. What else has that? Coffee. With coffee, some of the notes you'll find in this, you can find in coffee with earth, woodsy, cocoa, and so on. I have 9 different origins which will be on display right now, and I want to find out which one is the best. Join me on this journey, guys, to see who has the world's best coffee. Roll that intro. Colombia was today's pick. I know it's random. I want to make this series interesting. I don't want to be very straightforward. Unless you want me to do straightforward. For next time, let's get into the main reason why we're in this video. Colombia. This is a 7.77 ounces. Same exact thing as the Cuban and the Mexican. We're both at 7.77 ounces, which is, their terminology is a mug. Previous ones we had were double espresso, lungo and gran lungo. Now we're going back to our mug size, which is our Colombian 7.77 ounces. And the thing that I have to say about this, you guys can't really see, but in my visual representation, you see the breakdown of a perfect espresso. When you look at the 3 characteristics of a perfect espresso, you should only see 3 things. You should only see the body, the heart, and the crema. This bad boy is kind of hard for me to dictate on camera. I'll do some editing work on here. I'm gonna do a little bit of gamma increase, and at the little gamma increase, I'm gonna go mess with the colorings, you know, obviously the light and temperature balances. Hopefully, I'm just gonna keep on holding this here. Hopefully now that after I edited all the colorations and gamma, you guys now can see the differences of the bottom being the body, that middle being the heart, and the top being the crema. Hopefully that editing helped you guys out with identifying the 3 structures of a perfect espresso. Even though, yes, this is a mug, and the Nespresso is mostly an espresso company, with their originals being just strictly being espressos. They expand into gran lungos and altos and mugs and all that kind of sorts. But seeing how even with them making mugs or a cup of coffee, that they could perfect that crema on top. That crema looks very smooth. Like if you actually look at it in the angle where I'm looking in at, look at that crema. That's a perfect crema. In other words, cream. It's time for me to kind of, I guess you could say, dig in with Colombian. I don't know much of the backstory of it, taste wise. I don't know what to expect for it. Let's just give it a go. Is it weird that I said I smell fruits? Yeah, for me, I smell a lot of fruit, which is weird. This is my first time actually me picking up like a fruit scent to it. Let's give it a taste now. Still kind of hot, but I didn't get no taste. Okay, let me try it again. It's very fruity. It feels it has a fruit base. Yeah, it has a fruit base to it. What I mean by fruit, it's like if you're tasting red wine. It has like that red wine, I guess, like feel to it on your tongue. I'm not sure that because that's acidity. Because I know wines are usually acidic. If you go for Japanese sake, in the back it will tell you how fruity and how acidic. And I think the same thing applies for like wines where, yeah, acidity level determines the quality of the wine. But I feel like this one has like a fruit base. You can just smell it. It smells like a red wine. If you can move past the coffee smell, I smell red wine. That's the best way I can explain to it. I smell red wine. And it tastes like components you'll find in a wine or something, even in champagne. I can't guess anything else from it. I'm not sure what else to tell you about it because I'm still learning. We're all learning together. And as I continue doing a series like this, we could come back years from now and just see how much of a fool I was, or see how much of a somewhat expert I kind of was. Everybody has their beginnings when it comes to a passion they have. For many, many years, just like the intro said, I typically take coffees with milk and sugar, but the fact that I'm doing this series and drinking coffee in the most natural form, it's different. This is something I'm not used to. So right now I'm 25. We could come back and reflect on these videos once I'm like 28, 29 and see how much of an idiot I was. I might do a reaction series when I'm like 29 viewing these videos after I become a little bit more intermediate with coffee. Let's actually start breaking down this coffee component on Nespresso's website. Let's get into what this coffee is all about. Taste. Master origin Colombia, washed Arabica has the satisfying taste of a juicy, fruity, washed Colombian coffee. You may pick up hints of candied apple and red berry notes in this sweet and winey Vertuo coffee. But candied apple and red berry note, that may be why I picked up the wine, because of the red berry note. The candied apple? Okay, I can see where they're coming from with that. I can see where they're coming from with that. It has a sweetness to it, so it has that. Yeah, it's almost like a candy apple, like a caramel apple mixed with wine. Get a caramel apple and dip it in wine and take a bite. Is that how it works? No, you can't blend it because it's gonna be like different. Can you blend a candy apple and then put it in a wine glass? What would be the most effective way to get a taste of candy apple and wine? Pouring apple and wine, right? Pouring the wine on an apple and the candy apple, or infusing the caramel that's part of the candy apple with the wine. Maybe ooh, that actually sounds pretty fire. Get a wine caramel, guys, wine caramel sauce, and then cover it in apple. Who wants a video like that? That's an interesting concept. Who wants me to do a video of me trying out a wine caramel candied apple? I like that. But that's what this is. Yeah, under the notes, it says fruity complex. This is served as a mug, a 7.77 ounce, fluid ounce. Oh, wow. So that's why. Just like I always state in the previous ones, this coffee is dissected in 4 different parts: bitterness, acidity, roast, and body. The bitterness is a 1 out of 5. The acidity is a 5 out of 5. The roast is a 1 out of 5, and the body is a 1 out of 5. That's interesting. The last coffees I had on this list were kind of flipped. Bitterness would be at 3 or 4. Roast would be at 3 or 4 or 5. Body would be on 3 or 4. And acidity was always 1 or 2. Colombia is the complete opposite of what the other ones I have tried on this daily series. That's interesting. That's really interesting. I'm going on a limb and say that this is so far the best cup of coffee I had. There's 3 more left. I can't make a solid decision, but I'm giving this a 9.5 out of 10 because it's sweet. It has no harshness to it. This has barely, just no bitterness to it. And the fact that it tastes like a wine, I'm liking this a lot. This by far is the only coffee that I could see myself 100% drinking without any cream or sugar. My preferable way is with cream and sugar. But I could see myself actually enjoying this cup of coffee anytime with just in its most purest form, just straight black coffee. This one is really good. I like this one a lot. But this one's getting a 9.5 out of 10. I like this one a lot. Just letting you guys know that there will be a 10th video on this series on my main channel, Poppy Rick, where after I review all the footage and have them all scheduled, the 10th video will come out the day after of whatever I pick as the last coffee, and I'll submit my true rating. As I'm doing these coffees, I might take in consideration of how I describe them as I'm gaining the knowledge that I'm gaining now. There might be instances where I might have contradict myself and where I might actually come in as future Rick and say, hey, I noticed I said this. Going back on it, I see where I messed up, and then I'll correct it. On my 10th video, I'm gonna make a correction / final result video with all 9 coffees. So watch out for that video as well. We have 3 more days of this amazing series. I hope to see you guys tomorrow, and let's see what I'll pick next. Until next time, guys, love your faces, and I'm out. Peace.